ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। हरे कृष्ण। So we are very, very fortunate that Janmashtami is coming. Our goal of life is to celebrate in Golok Vrindavan, where there is every Brahma Samhita, Brahmaji is telling that Vrindavan is a place where there is every walk is a dance. Everyone is walking in this world, but in Vrindavan people don't walk. There is always dancing. So Katha Ganam, every word is like a song, is like a poem. Natyam Gamana Api, every walk is a dance. Bamsi Priya Sakhi, and Vrindavan is filled with the sound of flute. Like we had created this rendition of Binati Suniye, and it begins with flute, and everyone called me and said, what a flute, amazing sound. Why there is so much of attraction in our heart for flute? Because we are from Vrindavan, originally experiencing the wonderful sound of flute. Bamsi Priya Sakhi, the sound of the flute is very, very dear to the Sakhis. Why? Because it reminds them of Krishna. Bamsi Priya Sakhi. And the water is like nectar, Amritam. And everywhere you go in Vrindavan, there is a drizzling effect of water every time. You've seen, like, if you have been to Rath Yatra, there sometimes in the water kingdom, and there is very slight drizzling effect, and that drizzling water effect is fully fragrant also, not like sada hua water, recycled water. It's fragrant drizzling effect from the waterfalls of Govardhan. So Vrindavan is like when we go to some marriages, in the beginning they but it remains for 5 minutes. But in Vrindavan you have that effect eternally, and that drizzling effect is there. If you have gone for marriages, you understand what I am speaking. So this is Vrindavan, a place of eternal celebration of joy and happiness. And Krishna comes every year in Janmashtami to remind us to come back to our eternal place of celebration. So by participating in this wonderful festival of Janmashtami from our heart, we actually can get reminded of the eternal celebration of joy, of happiness, of dance, of song that goes on eternally in Vrindavan. And in the end of this life, we will definitely get opportunity to join the place. Yes, because our desires will be like that. Whatever we join, imagine we join the celebration of Bollywood, so we'll desire maybe if we cannot become an actor in Bollywood, we may become a spider in Bollywood next life, or a rat in the Bollywood studios, or some lizard in the Bollywood studios. But if we celebrate Janmashtami with our great heart and happiness every year, then we'll definitely be a part. Then by Srimati Radharani's mercy, actually Janmashtami, anyone who celebrates Janmashtami gets the mercy of Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani says, oh, he's doing so nice Janmashtami, he's celebrating so nice Janmashtami. Then if I bring him here to Vrindavan, he will help me to celebrate much better way Janmashtami. Yes, everyone, Srimati Radharani's heart is how to increase the wonderful service to Krishna. So every year Janmashtami comes to make us more Krishna conscious, to make us more available for Krishna, so that we can just get a glimpse, we can get a feeling of what is spiritual world. And just imagine Janmashtami is one day of celebration where we have so much of events and everything, Abhishek, and just expand it throughout the year. That's what is Golok Vrindavan. So Krishna comes every year at Janmashtami to give us a glimpse and entrance into what is Vrindavan Dham, what is the happiness of Vrindavan Dham, what is the great pleasure of celebrating and dancing and eating prasadam with Krishna, keeping Krishna in the center. So this year also we are celebrating Janmashtami, and because of the situation outside, we'll not be able to celebrate it in the way how we celebrate every year, going to either Biswa Bangla Auditorium or somewhere. So today we will see how we can actually celebrate this year's Janmashtami in more better way than every year, and can make it the most special Janmashtami than whatever Janmashtami we have celebrated last 2-3 years we have been celebrating. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is the story of Vamandev, Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj is actually the proprietor of the entire universe. And Vamandev begs charity from Bali Maharaj. He goes to Bali Maharaj as a small Brahmana. Like I'm very tall, but he was very small, and with a chhatri and with a kamandalu, and very extremely beautiful Brahmana. Vamandev goes and begs Bali Maharaj, oh, my dear king, you are doing such an auspicious celebration, yajna. Can you please give me 3 pieces of land according to my own feet? Vamandev's feet was like this, small. You know how this much big dwarf Brahmana. So this small feet and 3 feet, matlab 1, 2 and 3. That's almost like 1 foot total. And Bali Maharaj says, oh, you foolish Brahmana, itna murkh main kabhi bhi nahi dekha hu. You are coming to the proprietor of the universe. I am the controller of the entire 3 worlds. He's telling to the controller of three worlds that he is the controller of the three worlds. And Vamandev is smiling. Yes, yes, yes. You are the controller of three worlds, and we'll see what happens in the end. Who becomes the controller? But Maharaj is telling, I am the controller of the three worlds. I am the proprietor of the Swarga Loka, the Patala Loka, the Bhuloka, all the Lokas. Everyone is under me. And you are coming to me and asking 3 pieces of land based on your footprints, small footprints. Ask something. I can make you the proprietor of one entire planet. I can give you thousands of beautiful women to enjoy. I can give you so much of gold that your entire 7 generation will be enjoying. And then Vamandev speaks about very important principle that if we can follow, we can make this year's Janmashtami the most auspicious Janmashtami. Vamandev says, just like a traveler, one who is traveling, if the traveler wants to make his travel journey very, very happy, he has to have very good slippers. You know slippers? Mm-hmm. Nice Adidas, Nike, and what is that brand? All these wonderful brands of slippers and boots and shoes. So Vamandev says, just like a traveler who is very intelligent, who wants to be happy traveler in his journey, he wears slippers. Exactly in the same way, for someone who is traveling in the journey of life, like we are all traveling in the journey of life, at least in this life. I have traveled till now 33 years. So we are traveling in the journey of life, Vamandev says, and anyone who is traveling in this journey of life, who wants to be happy traveler of journey of life, he has to also wear slippers. And what are the slippers? The slippers of satisfaction, santushti. So Vamandev is speaking that if one wears the slipper of satisfaction, then he will be definitely happy traveler of life, of the journey of life, and will be saved from the miseries of stones and thorns that come inevitably in one's life. So if we really want to celebrate this year's Janmashtami, then we have to develop satisfaction. And how to develop satisfaction? कैसे हमारे हृदय में संतुष्टि जागृत होगा? The main reason for all miseries in this world is dissatisfaction. And satisfaction comes from gratitude, kritagnyata. Gratitude is such a wonderful quality that we need to develop in our heart. If we really want to receive Krishna this Janmashtami in our heart, because we cannot receive Krishna outside, because we are locked down in our home, we can only receive Krishna within our heart. And if we really want to receive Krishna within our heart, then we need to develop gratitude. We need to count on the blessings that we have received from the Lord, and we need to thank Krishna for all those gifts that we have received till date. So many gifts we have received from childhood, and sometimes we become neglected. We may think, oh, these are all because we have received it. Just like that, we think, oh, these are not gifts. Like there is a story of a man who was suffering from COVID-19 fever. And he was having mild fever, but then it became serious and serious. He was a 93-year-old man and he was very, very fearful. And he was admitted to hospital and it became very serious and he got into ventilator. And his family members, everyone lost almost hope. But after 10 days, miraculously, after 10 days with ventilator and all the tubes and everything in the hospital, putting everything, after 10 days he recovered miraculously. And when he recovered, then the doctor was congratulating him and he was feeling so happy that somehow he almost like from the hands of death he came back. And this man was talking with the doctor and the doctor gave him the bill. And the bill was 1,90,000 pounds. This man was shocked. 1,90,000 pounds. And the doctor said that the condition was becoming critical and we are trying all our means and we used all our means. That's why the bill has come this much. And the doctor could see this man was very, very morose seeing the bill. All his happiness of coming back from death, hands of death, became zero by seeing the bill on the hands of the doctor. And this doctor was feeling extremely bad that the bill was so much. And the doctor said, do I have to arrange some NGOs or contact some NGOs and get some discount for you or some charity for you? And this man said, no, I have enough money. I am not morose that I am not able to pay back the money. If that was what is required for my treatment, and I can pay it. But then why you are morose? The doctor asked. And this man said, I am morose that because I have wasted my life. And the doctor said, how did you waste your life? This man said that for 93 years I have been taking air for free without understanding the value of 10 days of air. If it is 1,90,000 pounds, then what is the value of air of 93 years? And I have never, not a single day, expressed my heartfelt thanks to God for supplying me air for last 93 years. Because air is so available so cheaply, water is available so cheaply, all the food items are available so cheaply. Sometimes there is tendency, when there is something is available without any payment, naturally we take it for granted. And we think, oh, it's nature. But who has made this arrangement in the nature? So there is a tendency to become ungrateful. There is a tendency to not even express our thanks for the air we are breathing, for the water we are drinking, for the food we are eating. So let's this Janmashtami make a habit of thanking Krishna for even the most significant items that we have received, but we have made it most insignificant because of its so naturally available to us. It's extremely significant. Just imagine, I am speaking. Imagine the air is not there. Even for 30 seconds the air goes away. I'll be dropped dead. So how much important is air, water, food? So how much we should be grateful and how much we should actually thank Krishna. And Krishna is such an amazing person. He never claims any credit for the air he is giving, for the water he is giving, for the food he is giving, nor even he claims any return gift. And because Krishna is not claiming any return gift, any claims, that's why we have a tendency to neglect saying heartfelt thanks to Krishna. In 2012, my sister, I have two sisters, my middle sister, matlab, both are elder to me. The middle sister, who is 5 years elder to me. So she was pregnant, and almost it was like 10 days remaining for the delivery. And I was in a meeting in Calcutta, and I was attending a meeting, and like I get an SMS that child dead, call urgently, from my father. I was like, I know which child is dead. It was like my heart started beating very hard in the meeting itself. And I said that I need to attend some very urgent call. I came out of the meeting, and I called my father, and my father was crying, my mother was crying. And just 10 days were remaining for the kid to take birth. And somehow they went for sonography and everything and Doppler test, and then they found that the doctor found that the child is dead, and somehow or other, with different types of medicines and all, somehow or other, the child was born dead. And when the child was born, the doctor could understand how the child died in the womb. Actually, the child gets connected to the mother's womb through the umbilical cord. There is an umbilical cord. And the child got entangled, stranded with his own umbilical cord and died inside the mother's womb. And it was such an extremely traumatic situation for my sister. I had told my sister to chant Hare Krishna, and she was chanting all throughout Hare Krishna. And the first time I talked with my sister, and my sister said, "This is what your Krishna did to me." And I was speechless what to answer. And then it took almost 6, 7, 8 months for my sister to recover the trauma. But over the months, I was thinking that I never expressed any thanks to Krishna for coming out safely from my mother's womb. If all of us are able to hear today's class, and all of us, myself, I am able to give class, it's all because that Krishna protected us in the womb, which even a mother cannot protect. My sister was the most loving mother, that's why she was in 6 months of trauma. Now also, whenever I speak to my sisters, if she remembers that, it becomes very traumatic for her. And that means she was so much loving her own son, but she was so helpless. Her own bodily part, actually that umbilical cord is connected to my sister's body also, own mother's, that acted as a rope that created the death of her own son. That means without the mercy of Krishna, without the help of Krishna, we can't even come out and see the sunlight of this world. So if we have come out to see the sunlight, and we are able to see the sunlight till now with these eyes, that means Krishna is so merciful. He has actually protected. No father, no mother, no doctor can actually give us protection except Krishna himself. So how much we should be thankful that not just we have come out safely from our mother's womb, we are actually surviving safely till now in this world of danger. So how much we should be grateful to Krishna for protecting us in mother's womb, where there was no one to protect us. And then so much of love from our parents. Yes, I remembered such love from my mother. Practically till my 12th class, till my IIT preparation, I used to sit on the lap of my mother and do all the studies and preparation. Till 12th class, my height was same as my mother. And all my sisters will do the household things of cooking and everything, so that I can sit on peacefully on the lap of my mother. And my mother was very healthy, and it's, it's natural cushion. You can purchase mattress and everything, or you can purchase a chair, but it was such a wonderful cushion, and I used to sit fully, all the legs, hands. You can ask my sister how I used to sit. All the legs, hands, everything on my mother, everything fully. And I'm not a kid, I'm 12th class. IIT preparations I have done sitting on the lap of my mother. So much of love, so much of attention from father and mother. It's mercy of Krishna. Right? So many people are born orphans. So how much we should be grateful for all the love and care and attention that our parents have given, father and mother and sisters have given. I always say to everyone that I didn't have one mother, I had 3 mothers. My 2 sisters who were elder to me, they were almost like mothers, doing everything for me like a mother. So how much we should be grateful and how much we should be thankful. Similarly, when I was preparing for IIT, so I was giving there is one organization called FITGI, and this FITGI has all India test series. So I used to go and give test series, and this test series center was Hare Krishna. This test series center was just opposite to ISKCON Bhubaneswar, and I used to go for writing exams, and in between there was 1 hour of almost 45 minutes of gap between 2 sessions, tests. So in that it was almost like 1 to 2 or like that. So I used to come, cross the national highway, there is NH5, this side was my test series center and this side was just ISKCON temple. And I used to cross the highway and go to the Govindas for taking prasadam, because I was vegetarian from childhood and I loved prasadam. So I remember the first time I entered the Govindas of ISKCON Bhubaneswar in the ground. So when I entered, the first time I entered, so there was Srila Prabhupada's picture, big. You know how in ISKCON we keep big singhasan for Srila Prabhupada. And I entered and I was like, there was a lot of crowd in the Govindas. So I could not enter only. So in the waiting lounge, I was sitting. And while I was sitting, my eyes went to Srila Prabhupada. Big Vyasasan there was a photograph and big Vyasasan sitting. And everyone entering the Govindas will first put Dandavat to Prabhupada. And I was sitting and wondering, this is my first time I saw Srila Prabhupada. His photograph and Singhasan. And I was thinking, who is this old man? In Hindi I was, ये बुढ़ऊ कौन है? कौन है ये बुढ़ऊ? इतना दंडवत क्यों मारा जा रहा है इसको? भगवान को ना दंडवत मारा जाता है, ये बुढ़ऊ को इतना क्यों दंडवत मारा जा रहा है? So in my heart I was so offensive to Srila Prabhupada. And I used to see that everyone, and almost like 10-15 times over the year I had gone for this taking prasadam, and every time I'll think, kaun hai ye? One day will come. I had desired that I will definitely get to know about this Buddha. कि क्यों इतना दंडवत मार रहे हैं? And you see Srila Prabhupada, so merciful, though I was so offensive to him, this is mercy of pure devotees. That he just didn't ensure that I put dandavat to him every day. He ensured that people also put dandavat to me. Prabhupada said, अरे मैं ऐसे काम करूंगा कि तुम भी मेरे को दंडवत मारेगा और लोग तुमको भी दंडवत मारेंगे जब तक तुम भी बूढ़ा हो जाएगा. Yes. So now I can see how my life is changed. Because, so if offending pure devotees can create such change, just imagine if I appreciate Srila Prabhupada throughout the life, how much Krishna will bless me with positive change. And how then going to Kharagpur and somehow, and the best gift that I have received, that I am so grateful to Krishna, is the gift of my Gurudev. Actually, it is Krishna. Krishna's best gift in one's life of a living entity is the gift of Guru. And the best gift the Guru gives in the life of his disciple is the taste in Krishna Bhakti. If we are not getting taste in practicing Krishna consciousness, we should understand that we are not associating with our Gurudev. Because Guru's best gift to a disciple is Rati to Krishna, Ruchi to Krishna. And Krishna's best gift to a living entity is Gurudev. So if we have got mercifully by Krishna's mercy a Guru in our life who is guiding us, then if we serve him, if we love him, if we follow his instructions nicely, the natural result will be the gift of taste in Krishna consciousness, taste in chanting the holy name of the Lord, taste in reading Srimad Bhagavatam, taste in reading Bhagavad Gita, taste in serving the Vaishnavas. So Krishna's gift, best gift to the living entity is his spiritual master. And spiritual master's best gift to a disciple is the taste in Krishna consciousness. So it's the best gift. And from childhood I had no friends. School days I didn't make any friends. College days no friends. IIT no friends. And Krishna blessed me with such wonderful devotees as friends. Like a man, a small boy asked his teacher that, "Oh teacher, please tell me which career I should choose in life. क्या career मेरे को बनाना चाहिए जीवन में?" And the teacher replied, "Make a career of good man. अच्छा आदमी का career बनाओ." And the student asked, "Why?" Because there is lot of opportunity and no competition. The good man in Kali Yuga is so rare. And to get association of good people, to loving devotees, devotees are the harmless creature in the entire creation. And to get association of devotees, sometimes I think I may be giving class, I may be teacher of so many students, but I feel so grateful to get association of such wonderful people. Sometimes I thank Krishna that, "Oh Krishna, you are so merciful to help me associate with such people." Like there are some devotees in our family. I feel such gratitude to Krishna to give me opportunity to associate with them. Some couple so nice at heart, so innocent. So we should be thankful to Krishna to get opportunity to associate with so nice devotees, to serve so nice devotees. So in this Janmashtami, we cannot celebrate like every year going out, but we can make it a much better festival within our hearts by offering every day thanks to Krishna for these wonderful gifts that we have received from childhood till date. Every day we can spare some few minutes and offer our most heartfelt prayers of expressing gratitude to Krishna. One gift, like today I will offer prayer for my parents. and I will remember some of the incidents of my parents, how they helped me, how my parents are the most wonderful gifts, and I will pray for my parents, and I will thank Krishna for giving the gift of parents in my life. So like this, till Janmashtami, let's make a habit of sparing some few minutes before sleeping, of praying to Krishna and thanking Krishna for the wonderful gift that we have got. And sometimes Krishna may put us in apparently difficult situations, painful situations, and we should be grateful for that. Miserable situations, because Krishna's love, Krishna is inconceivable. Krishna is Achintya, very difficult to understand. So many sages, so many rishis are trying to understand Krishna, but very difficult through our intelligence to understand Krishna. Krishna is infinite. Similarly, Krishna's love is sometimes inconceivable. Sometimes to understand Krishna's love is actually inconceivable. And Krishna may sometimes put us in difficult situation apparently, but it may be actually very, very wonderful for us. Like I remember, as I said, my mother was so loving to me and I was so attached to my mother. Till my IIT, I was preparing, sitting on the lap of my mother. And in 2013, Krishna snatched away my mother from me. And it was like a flash. January, she got detected with renal failure. And within just 5 months, just like a flash, my mother passed away in June. And when the June 2nd, 2013, when my mother passed away, I was in Calcutta. Early morning I get message. So I took one devotee and went to home, Puri, and I did kirtan and everything. And we were waiting for my sister to come, because my sister said, please wait, I want to also take to see my mother last time. So almost it became 11 o'clock in the night. And we went to Swargodwar. It's the burning ghat in Puri. And the pujari said to me that go and take a dip in the ocean and come back without sponging yourself, like without drying yourself. So maybe that's the ritual. And then I went to the ocean, took a dip and came back, and I was like dripping and I was shivering because it was very cold, chilled water of the ocean water. And plus, for last 26 years, I was 26 at that time, I have never seen a person burning. I have never burnt a person. And this is the first time in my life to see a person burning, and this is my own mother. I was extremely pain in heart, and I was constantly chanting Hare Krishna for praying to Krishna to give me protection and to help my mother carry forward in his onward journey. And then the Pujari gave me a log of wood and put some ghee and some cotton on it, lighted a fire and said you should circumambulate 3 times. And then Pujari, like this, my mother's mouth was closed, like this he did, and then my mother's mouth got opened and said, you have to put the fire inside the mouth, you have to put the fire inside the mouth. Again and again he was shouting. I was like thinking, how do I put the fire in the mouth of my mother? And I followed, taking the fire, circumambulating my mother and everything. And then as I was about to put the fire, my hands started shaking so much that the fire didn't enter inside the mouth. And the Pujari was shouting, I am telling you again and again, you have to put, you are are you a kid? Like that he started, speaking in Odia, and then my uncle came and said, why you are shouting? He's just a kid. He has not seen anyone burning and his own mother. Why you are shouting like this? I said, why don't you do it? I said, no, how I can do it? Am I the son? He has to do it. Then my uncle said, okay, you assist him. So then the Pujari held my hand and somehow he assisted me to put the fire inside my mother's mouth, close the mouth, and Within few minutes, he started putting ghee and putting the fire, and within few minutes, fire was burning. And the pujari said, you cannot see this burning, you have to go back right away, you have to go back. And I was feeling that I need to wait, at least pray for the last time to Krishna. And the pujari was shouting, and my uncle said, let him stand for some time and then we'll leave. And then I started praying. This was the last prayer that I offered to my mother. I prayed to my mother that, oh my mother, you have given so much of love to me. And my mother loved me so much. And so much of service last 26 years. I pray to Krishna that you get the best destination and best opportunity to practice devotional service in your next life. And if it is Krishna's desire, and if you are qualified, and Krishna can take you back to Godhead, that is more than nice. But if Krishna cannot take you, I pray that you get the best opportunity to practice devotional service next life. And I pray that for all the love that I have received from you, that from now on till end of my life, I promise to you that I will see every lady, whomever I meet, as my mother. And I will try to share whatever love I have received, love of Krishna, whatever I have received through you, that I will try to share it throughout the world. So these were the two prayers I offered to my mother. And I saw Krishna is so merciful. Krishna snatched away one mother from me, and in just matter of 5-6 years, I have got so many mothers. Little bit if people come to know that Prabhuji is sick, so much of WhatsApp messages, Prabhuji, what I can do for you, and so many things come. So many mothers. So Krishna is so merciful. Sometimes Krishna may put us in apparently difficult situation just to give us more gifts. Krishna snatched away gift of one mother to give me gifts of the entire world's ladies as my mother. So we should understand that Krishna loves us so much. And this Janmashtami is an opportunity for us to express our thanks and love and gratitude to Krishna from our heart, by remembering all those situations where we have experienced love, because love has only singular source, that is Krishna. No one can love anyone without the inspiration of Krishna. No one can love. Mother cannot love the son without inspiration from Krishna. Father cannot love the son without the inspiration of Krishna. A disciple cannot love the spiritual master, and a spiritual master cannot love the disciple without the inspiration of Krishna. A brother cannot love the sister. We are going to celebrate Raksha Bandhan without the inspiration of Krishna. Actually, there is only one source of love in this entire creation, that is Krishna's love for all of us. And how much we should be grateful and thankful when we are receiving love from anyone. Because its source is only one, that is Krishna. If a wife finds any love from the husband, she should think that Krishna is so merciful in giving me such a wonderful gift as husband. The husband should think that Krishna is so merciful to give me such a wonderful gift of my wife. The children should think how merciful is Krishna to help us receive such wonderful parents. Because there is only singular source of love for all of us, that is Krishna. And whatever love, whatever inspiration we are getting in our heart is all because of Krishna's gift to us. And this Janmashtami, let us make a practice every day in the night before sleeping to pray and offer our thanks for whatever gifts we have received. And this Janmashtami is also very auspicious because I will tell you a story. In Vrindavan, there are so many small forests. There are 12 major forest in Vrindavan, but in Vrindavan there is small upavans. In Barsana, near Krishna Kund, there is a small forest. And the name of the forest is Ghevar Ban. Ghevar is an extremely delicious sweet that is made in Vrindavan. Rather, Ghevar is the king of all sweets, because in Vrindavan there is no Rasgulla Ban, Gulab Jamun Ban, Jalebi Ban, but there is Ghevar Ban. Just imagine what is the category of Ghevar in terms of sweets. It's said that Ghevar is the sweet coming from Golok Vrindavan directly in this world. It manifested directly from the hands of Srimati Radharani as her most wonderful expression of love for Krishna. Srimati Radharani had come from Yabat to Barsana, and Srimati Radharani was thinking, what do I offer? Which food item I have to offer to Krishna and his friends that they will be pleased with me? And from her heart and with deep love, Srimati Radharani prepared this wonderful item called Ghevar. How many of you have tasted Ghevar? But that is not the Ghevar that Srimati Radharani prepared. That Ghevar was so soft and spongy. As you will put in the mouth, it will melt automatically. Was that like that? No. So that means it is third class. And it was so many fruits on it, dry fruits on it, cherries, and as you will put it, it will melt, and as you chew it, you will feel the spongy effect of the fruits and the dry fruits. And as you press the Ghevar, the malai, the rabdi that is soaked, it will come out and it will touch your tongue, and like a sprinkling effect. And you can only experience it. My speech is not that refined to explain the experience of taking the Ghevar that Srimati Radharani prepared. And the taste of the Ghevar was so nice that everyone started, all the Gopas and Sakhas started shouting Ghevar and Ghevar and Ghevar. And from that day, this bun came to be known as Ghevar Ban. And all the Sakhas, everyone took the Ghevar so much. Radharani prepared so much of Ghevar. It was fruity, it was nutty, it was juicy, it was spongy, it was slimy, it was so tasty. And all the Sakhas, they took the Ghevar, all the Sakhis, they took the Ghevar, and the Ghevar got over completely. And Radharani had this much Ghevar, which she took it to her mother-in-law's house, Jatila. And Jatila saw, what did you bring from Barsana? And Radharani shows Ghevar and a small piece of Ghevar which is remaining. And Jatila becomes so angry. And Srimati Radharani, this much you brought for me? This is not even for one mouth piece. It will not even go into one corner of the mouth of mine. And Radharani becomes very morose. What she will tell that I fed to all the Gopas and Sakhis, and while coming they snatched away. And Radharani was telling, oh, what can I do? I will make again. He said, no. Today when Abhimanyu comes, I will scold. I'll ensure that he scolds you. And then Radharani goes inside crying. And this Jatila puts the Ghevar inside the closet. You know, closet wardrobe. And sits. Let Abhimanyu come. And when Abhimanyu comes, and then Jatila says, you know, Radhika is actually the daughter of Vrishabhanu, who is the king of Barsana. And you know how much Ghevar she has brought? This much. Not even that can fit into my one mouth. And Abhimanyu says, where is Radhika? I will shout now at her. Said, first you see the Ghevar, then your anger will increase. And then Jatila tells Abhimanyu, let's open the closet. And when Jatila opens the closet, entire closet was so much filled with ghevar that it was started overflowing, and entire Jatila's face, hair, dress, sari, blouse, everything was drenched with ghevar and rabdi. And Abhimanyu says, why you always shout as Radhika? She's such a nice lady, so much ghevar she got. So this pastime of ghevar happened in Barsana. And because Srimati Radharani from her heart offered ghevar to Krishna, Krishna filled the entire closet with so much of ghevar that he drenched Jatila Devi with all ghevar. And I was when Radharaman was installed in Gosala in 29th December, I was thinking, who can make ghevar? And I started asking all Matajis, do you know ghevar? And some others said, I don't know what is ghevar. I said, your 100% life is wasted if you have not known what is ghevar. And some Mataji said, I know what is ghevar, but I have only tasted it from the restaurant. I said, your 1000% life has wasted, because if you have tasted and you have not thought how to make ghevar, then your 1000% life is wasted. And I was asking everyone who knows making ghevar. Everyone said, no, my mother-in-law was knowing ghevar, but now I don't know making ghevar. And day before yesterday, while I was talking with Udit Prabhu, she was telling, Prabhu, I am planning to make ghevar. I said, oh, what's the use? You are in Denmark and we are in Calcutta. Even if you become successful in making ghevar, then I cannot feed Krishna this Janmashtami. And yesterday, just before going to sleep, I was seeing my WhatsApp status, and I saw one Mataji has put in her status, her small girl is holding a plate filled with ghevar. And I was jumping that this Janmashtami is going to become successful because we are going to offer Krishna ghevar. That's Srimati Radharani. And I called that Mataji. She stays in Rosedale, Sova Mataji. And I called and I said, I am so happy that you have made ghevar. And the ghevar that she has made exactly looks how it should be. The shape and everything, there are some changes which has to be made. I have given to her the assignment, but hopefully in 15 days she will be able to come up to the expectations of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. But she was also telling that while I was cooking ghevar, because I knew this instrument that I have in my home is not suitable for making ghevar, but I was praying to Radharani that, oh Radharani, please, I am making this for Krishna, please make it successful. And you see, it was so successful. So this Janmashtami will be the most auspicious Janmashtami because we are going to offer ghevar to Sri Krishna, the most amazing fruit and sweet and juicy, slimy, and as you put it in your mouth, it will melt. So much so that there is a bun in Vrindavan of the name ghevar bun. Of all the food items that gives pleasure to Krishna, ghevar is the king of all the food items because it has come directly from the heart of Srimati Radharani. Directly from core of her heart as a loving offering to Sri Krishna. So, we should be grateful to Krishna for giving us opportunity to serve Him. Celebration of Janmashtami is not how much I enjoyed Janmashtami. Oh Prabhuji, it was such a nice celebration. Why? Because I enjoyed. I saw the dancing, I saw the drama, I ate the prasadam. So this year Krishna is giving us opportunity that instead of we enjoying, we give enjoyment to Krishna without expecting any enjoyment in return. Ahetuki apratihata. Sukadeva Goswami says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sabai pumsa paro dharma, yato bhaktir adhokshaje. That devotional service which is ahetuki. unmotivated, without any desire, without any tinge of any selfish desire to enjoy, that devotional service can actually satisfy our heart fully. Sa Atma Suprashidati. If we want to experience divine satisfaction this Janmashtami, if we want to experience divine happiness throughout the year after this Janmashtami, let us celebrate this Janmashtami by meditating how we can give the best enjoyment to Krishna. And because of this lockdown, we are so fortunate that we are forced to not even think an iota of our own enjoyment. So let us focus how I can give best enjoyment to Krishna. Let's Krishna celebrate this Janmashtami and let us give us the best enjoyment, happiness to Krishna, and let's not think about any iota of happiness that I will receive. When we go to Biswa Bangla auditorium and sit in the auditorium, AC room, and then Krishna is coming and we are taking prasadam, so much of enjoyment. But now we are sitting in our own home and preparing some prasadam for Krishna, and Krishna is enjoying the prasadam. But we may not be able to enjoy this year's Janmashtami, and we should be grateful for it. We should be thankful for Krishna that Krishna, this year you gave us opportunity to do unmotivated, unconditional devotional service at your lotus feet, where we have no opportunity to think of our own enjoyment. We have every opportunity to think about your enjoyment. Like Srimati Radharani thought. He never thought, oh, let me keep some ghevar aside and then feed Krishna. She gave entire stock of ghevar to Krishna and Sakhas and Sakhis. And Krishna in turn filled his entire home in Yavat with ghevar. Similarly, the first thing we can do in this Janmashtami, before Janmashtami, is that every day pray to Krishna for all the gifts we have received. Spare some minutes every day before sleeping, praying to Krishna for all the gifts with incidents. Not like, oh Krishna, I'm grateful for my mother. No, with incidents. Oh Krishna, I'm grateful for my mother for this incident, how much she loved me. Thank you Krishna for giving such a wonderful mother. Thank you Krishna for giving such a wonderful guru. Thank you Krishna for your holy name. Thank you Krishna for Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you Krishna for this class which I heard. It was so inspiring. With specific incidents, praying to Krishna. And also in the Janmashtami, let us offer our entire hearts to give enjoyment to Krishna. And let's help Krishna to celebrate this Janmashtami. Let's help Srimati Radharani to celebrate this Janmashtami and give enjoyment to Krishna in the best way without expecting any enjoyment and celebration in return. So in this way, this Janmashtami is going to be the best Janmashtami and is going to become the best Janmashtami for our spiritual advancement, because we don't have any iota of opportunity for our personal celebration. And also it's going to be auspicious because we are going to make ghevar. So we are very, very grateful for this opportunity of service in this Janmashtami. So I pray to all of you to be grateful to Krishna, thankful to Krishna, and join in this wonderful celebration that Srimati Radharani is conducting. Actually, Janmashtami is conducted by Srimati Radharani and we are all assistants. We are trying to assist Srimati Radharani. And that's why, because Soha Mataji prayed to Srimati Radharani, ghevar got manifested. Because actually it manifests from the love of Srimati Radharani. We have no love for Krishna. We can only borrow the love of Srimati Radharani and offer it to Krishna. By praying to Srimati Radharani, we can actually participate in this wonderful celebration that Radharani is conducting of this Janmashtami festival. So I pray to each one of you to please participate in this wonderful festival, and let us thank from our heart to Krishna for the wonderful gifts. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री श्री जन्माष्टमी महामहोत्सव की, श्री श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय, श्रीमती राधा रानी की, श्री वृंदावन धाम की, श्री घेवर्धन की, श्री बरसाना धाम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरे कृष्ण।